Hey guys, welcome back to Bohs Fan TV. And today we're going to be doing a preview for the game against Shelbourne this Saturday. And we're also going to be doing some predictions for the games this weekend. So, how are you, Aaron?
I'm grand.
Yeah, bit of a mental game last week for Bohs. Two
Yes,
late goals.
mental. Like the way they scored within the first 2 minutes, and then we win the game within 2 minutes. It's mad.
Yeah, crazy. It's just such a shame that fans weren't there. You can imagine what it would be like if fans were there, but
Yeah,
shame.
it
But
reminded me of the Shells game. You know the
yeah,
way.
mm, yeah, the fighting back kind of spirit. Like the Shells match. But yeah, we've a bit of a tougher game uh this week against Shells, who are going to be difficult to break down. But we'll get on to that soon. So we're going to start with the predictions. First game is uh sorry, mine just went like that. Derry versus Waterford at the Brandywell. First game Friday. How do you see this one going?
Derry and Waterford, two teams that are probably doing the opposite of each other this year. Like thought Derry would be up at the top four with Waterford down within the two or three at the bottom, but I'd say it would be a tight game, evenly matched teams on paper. I'd go for I'd go for 1-1 draw.
Yeah, Derry conceding a lot of late goals lately. Past couple of games they conceded late on to lose the game, which is frustrating. And for a team that were good last season, and still good, still have a good team, but they're down near that those bottom two. I think they're eighth now. Um, they're either seventh or eighth. I think they might be seventh actually, but yeah, I think they need to be winning these games. They want to be careful. Waterford have been good recently. They beat Sligo the other day with a cracker of a goal from Matty Smith, I think, scored it. Yeah, it's going to be a tight game, but I fancy Derry to win it 1-0. They've I think they need a bit of luck.
Yeah.
They've been unlucky past couple of games. So yeah, I'll go with a 1-0 Derry win. I think they'll bounce back. Next game is Dundalk Finn Harps at Oriel Park.
I'd say that would be an easy enough game for Dundalk, but they have European football tonight anyway, so they'll obviously be putting more into that game and trying to get through to the group stages of the Europa League. And I wish them luck. I hope they do actually get through. But with Hearts, I can't see anything but a Dundalk win. Hearts just don't get points away from home. Like they've got one win away from home all year, which is down in Waterford, 3-2 win. I'd go with a 3-0 Dundalk win.
Yeah, I think the game's on Sunday. But so we'll give the players a bit of a rest. I know they aren't really they don't have to travel far to the Aviva tonight, but it's a big game. You know, for the fans, for the club to get into the Europa League group stages for the second time because I think they done it in 2016. I think
Yeah,
wasn't it? So yeah, I think they're fully focused on that one, and as you said, I hope they do well. I hope they get through. It'd be good for the league. Um, but I think even if they put out a more weaker side, they should be able to beat Finn Harps, who aren't very good away from home. Uh, so yeah, I'll probably go with the same with you. I'll probably go for a 3-0 Dundalk win. Next one is Shamrock Rovers versus Sligo Rovers at Tala Stadium. How do you see this one going?
uh, Sligo and Rovers, but I'd say Rovers will probably have enough, and the win on Sunday will just breeze confidence into the team, like winning 4-0 up in Oriel. With Sligo, they've looked alright recently, even against us. I thought they were good, unlucky to lose, but go to 2-0 Shamrock Rovers win.
Yeah, I think they pretty much won the title now. I can't see them dropping. It's only 5 games left, and they're what 8 points clear. I think.
Yeah, so they'd have to lose 3 of their last 5 games.
Yeah, which they probably won't. It's it's not good, is it? It's in the Royal League, but yeah, they were very good against Dundalk. I know Dundalk didn't have a strong team out, but they were still quite good. Rovers fairly comfortable for them 4-0 win. Sligo have been doing pretty well. They're still in with a shout for Europe. I think they're what, fourth or fifth.
I think they're
Sixth, maybe.
4th because Dundalk have a few games in hand behind them.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be tight, you know. Shamrock Rovers will be favourites, obviously, but I think Sligo can cause them a few problems. But I'll probably go for a 2-1. Shamrock Rovers win.
Yeah.
So lastly, last game, Cork versus St. Pat's at uh,
Turner's Cross.
Turner's Cross. All
Yeah.
over the place.
I'd say this will be a tight game because recently both teams haven't scored that many goals. Like I know Pats scored, they won 2-0 against, who did they play the other week? Sligo or Derry, one of those teams.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
They won 2-0 anyway, but Cork just don't really know what to find the back of the net. So I'd say this has a 0-0 draw written all over, if I'm being honest.
yeah. I think were you on about St. Pat's there? Who did he
Yeah,
play?
they won. Who did they play the other week?
It was Shells. Yeah, Shells.
Shells, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, they beat Shells 2-0, and I think that was it. They were due a win there. I think they won about 6 games without scoring a goal, and they
Yeah.
beat Shells comfortably 2-0. Um, yeah, this one is it's quite an even game because Cork they'll be needing to win this one if they want to avoid finishing it in the bottom two, maybe even bottom as well. Um, yeah, I think it's now or never for Cork really because it'd be unfortunate for them to get relegated. It'd be unfortunate for the league to see them out of the league as well
Yeah.
because they're a big team. Like, and it'd be strange seeing them in the first division. Um, yeah, I'll probably go with a 1-1. Maybe it'd be very tight. Pats have been they've been mixed really. I know they beat Shells, but other than that, they were a bit poor in the other games. But I'll go with a 1-1. I think it'd be a tight game. It'd be very even. So on to the preview for the game against Shells. It's a tough game. Shells
Yeah.
are hard to break down, and they're also down there with for relegation. I think they're eighth at the minute, only 3 points off the bottom two. So how do you see the game going?
Both teams will be up for it anyway because both teams are obviously fighting for different things in the league. But yeah, it's a Dublin derby again. Like they're really hard to predict, especially like away from home because this is the first time we've gone to Talk in about 7 years in the league. But on paper we have the better squad. But
Yeah, it's a tight one because I don't know. This sort of feels like a final day type game
yeah,
where the big team has nothing to play for, and they're both big clubs, but the kind of the team that's higher in the league have nothing really to play for, and there's the team near the bottom that have everything to play for, and the fact that it's a Dublin derby as well adds a lot to it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tight because Shells have been poor lately. I think they've won only like one out of the last five or six. They've only won one out of the last 5, 6. I don't know. It's going to be really tight. I know we beat them fairly comfortably at home
in
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 March, which is
March,
the last
just
game
before lockdown. Yeah,
which is the last game with the fans. Yeah, because it wouldn't surprise me if Shell's got something out of the game, but
no, especially the way we played recently. Like the
yeah,
Derry game, we were pretty lucky
yeah,
to even get
but
get the win. But
but I think we'll be well up for it. Like, we've we haven't been. I don't think we've really put in a very good performance since the game in Europe. If I'm being
No,
honest,
like there's no. You're right. There's been no like game where you've been like that's like, such a great team performance.
because when we came back from Europe, we lost to Rovers, we lost to Waterford, we beat Sligo, but it wasn't it wasn't a very
Convincing
comfortable
win.
win. Yeah, and we beat Derry, but we weren't very good in that game. Um, and both teams are due something, I know we've won our last two, but I think we really need a game where we can come out and say, yeah, we bossed the game. We haven't had that in a while. Um, so what do you think the score will be?
Oh, this is probably one of the hardest games to predict, but I'd go. I can see both teams being attacking from the start, so it'd be a good game to watch anyway. But I'd go with a 2-1 Bohs win.
Yeah, both teams they'll sit back, like maybe not sit back, but the
Kind of counter attack each other in a way.
yeah. We've seen that Shell's done that against Rovers and it worked. They got a 0-0 draw. They kind of just sat back and tried to hit Rovers on the counter attack, and they managed to get a 0-0 draw out of it. Or they could set up a similar way against us. I don't know. Um, they've got a lot of like strong players in defence in midfield. Like I'm not too worried about their forwards because I don't know.
They
They
don't
don't
really
have.
score any goals.
Yeah, they don't. There's Kieran Kilduff, but he hasn't been like very good this season. Um, and I don't know. They've Cabia and Denzel Fernandez, who are two good young players, but I think I don't think their forward line's good enough to you know batter teams.
No,
Um,
they're gonna play teams off the park and
yeah,
all game.
they've got a solid defense and decent enough midfield. They've got Gary Deegan, who's been around for a while and is good leader. Yeah, for score predictions, I'll probably go with a 2-1 Bows win, as you said. It'd be very tight. Um, Shells, they need all the points they can get. Really, it's now or never for them. They're near that drop zone now, and
Like, they don't want to
it's
go back down, and even if they finish in a playoff spot or well, the relegation promotion thing, like the teams in the first division, like the first division from like first to about fifth, all of them are still in the hunt for promotion. I think. I know Drogheda
yeah,
are first at the moment, and there's 4 or 5 games left in the season, so be interested
yeah.
to see where that goes as well.
Even like Cope, who are sixth, are still in with a shout.
Yeah,
It's it's getting tight in that league. But it'd be so disappointing for Shells to go down after having like barely a season, like,
yeah,
and
like
especially when they only had about 3 or 4 home games with fans. It's it'd be devastating for them. But I don't think they will go down. I think they should stay up. But
yeah. I'd say they'd finish no lower than eighth, really.
yeah, they'd be around seventh or eighth. I think I can't see them getting top six. Um, yeah. In terms of like the lineup, what do you think the team could look like?
I'd say it'd stick with Hull and goal anyway, because since he's come back, we've been more solid at the back anyway. Only conceding 1 goal, which was against Derry. But right back, Andy Lyons, left back, uh, Anto Breslin, centre backs, Casey and Cornwall, centre mids, Buckley and oh, I'd play Dawson Devoy beside Buckley, give him another chance. I have Ward, Twardek, uh, Grant, and Andre Earl up top.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Talbot, Breslin, Cornwall, Casey, Loynes as the back four. I'll go Buckley and Connor Levinson in the middle. Danny Grant on the left, Keith Ward, Chris Twardek, and Andre Wright. Uh, you'd like to think that that team is strong enough to beat Shells. Like
The front
there's
three, especially like the pace in the team.
yeah. Because we were able to beat them last.
Pretty comfortably in March, really.
Yeah. And it's interesting now because Danny Manager isn't getting into the team really. Like he wasn't even on the bench against Derry. So to say his time at Bohs is coming to an end.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird though. Like ever since we've been back playing after lockdown, he's just up in the squad.
Yeah, he's only started once since we've come back from lockdown, and he's been on the bench most times as well, and hasn't even come on really most matches. I don't know whether that's the
Keep
fact that
losing faith. Like he
yeah,
needs
whether
commitment, but
he's just not impressing him in training, or he's just falling out with him, or he wants to leave. I don't know. It's a strange one because last season he was our best player. You know,
one of the best in the league. Like
yeah.
definitely best player.
At one point, he was the best player in the league. We thought, when he scored that goal against Rovers, he was
Like
on top of his
around the
game, and
middle of the season, yeah, he was on
he
fire.
was definitely the best player in the league at that time. Um, but obviously he's gotten a lot of criticism lately because obviously that whole situation where he was out gargled apparently.
Yeah,
um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just
yeah, no,
maybe did that kind of play more into maybe him wanting to leave, that he felt like Bohs was kind of ruined his reputation a bit. I don't know,
yeah, he
but
probably is that he probably wants a fresh start. But if he goes to Rovers or even across the water, like if he
yeah,
goes to Rovers, he'd all be sick saying, "Oh,
I,
traitor."
yeah, I don't want to see him go to Rovers. I just for his career and
Yeah, like what he's
I
20.
can't.
He's
He's 21, 22. He wouldn't get into the Rovers team. I don't think. I don't think there's a place for him in the team because they play with like a 3-4-3 or something.
yeah,
There's no
but
real place in
but for
there for him.
his career, like he yeah, as you were saying, like him sitting at home, like saying, "Do I want to stay in Ireland, play for another team in Dublin, or would I rather move over to someone maybe in League One or the Championship and be having regular game time there as well?"
Yeah, it's strange, but I don't. It's really hard to see where he'll go. Whether he'll try make amends and stay at Bows, or where he'll play most games for us. And but if he went to Rovers, it's hard to see where he's going to fit in that team, especially with the formation they play.
Yeah,
It's 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 difficult, but maybe if he went over to England, he can try more, make a name for himself over there, and uh, he'll maybe get a bit more money over there, and he as he
maybe
I
get
think
like recognition in the senior squad for the Ireland setup anyway.
yeah, because apparently he's been doing well for the under 21s. Uh, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the season when his contract runs out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the end of the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and see you in the next video.